Before we begin, a quick favor. If you've been enjoying the podcast, would you consider leaving a review? It really helps others find this space and join us on their own healing journey. If you haven't already, you can get your free IFS meditations at exploreifs.com. Welcome back to IFS Meditations and Insights. I'm Tim Fortescue, your guide on this journey toward wholeness through the lens of internal family systems. Together, we're creating a sacred space to explore, accept, and love all parts of ourselves. As we do this work, we open ourselves to experiencing divine love and living more authentically. Let's begin. In this session, we're talking about something very simple and honestly very powerful. A practice you can do anywhere. You don't need a full session. You don't need 30 minutes. You don't need everything to be quiet or figured out or resolved. You just need a moment, because a lot of real inner work doesn't happen in big breakthroughs. It happens in small moments when something shifts inside you. And instead of ignoring it or pushing past it or trying to fix it, you turn toward it. That's where the work actually lives. But it's not always easy, often not easy. The other day, I noticed a shift in myself. Nothing dramatic had happened, not crisis, no hard conversation, but I could feel my system tighten. My thoughts got louder and more obsessive. My body felt more braced. And there was this quiet sense of overarching pressure, like something inside was saying, we need to figure this out right now. Maybe you know that feeling. Outwardly, everything looks fine. And sometimes I wake up the next morning, it's a whole different landscape inside. But in these moments, inwardly, something has taken over the tone. Something is driving. Here's what I've been learning. Slowly, and again. I don't always need to fix it. Sometimes I just need to ask one question. Who's here? Not what's wrong with me. Not how do I fix this? Just who's here? That question often changes everything, because now you're not relating to a problem. You're relating to a part of you. And that's a completely different posture. You're beginning to move from being blended to being in relationship, even just a little. And a little is enough. So here's the practice. It's very simple. Pause. Take a breath. Notice first that you're here in that pause. And then ask, who's here? Then just notice. Maybe a worried part shows up. Maybe a part that feels pressure. Maybe a part that's tired. Maybe a part that's frustrated or sad or trying really hard to hold it together. You don't have to get it right. You're just noticing who's present. And if it feels natural, you might say quietly inside, I see you. I'm here, or I'm still here. That alone can be a powerful shift. Here's where it gets challenging for a lot of us. Can I notice without fixing? Most of us have parts that want to solve, manage, analyze, shut things down, move on. And that makes sense. Those parts have worked hard for us. But often, parts are not asking to be fixed first. They're asking to be seen. And when a part feels seen, it often softens just a little. Not always dramatically, but enough to create space. Enough that you're no longer fully gripped by it. So, what happens when you do this? Sometimes, not much at first, and that's okay. But often, something shifts, a little more space, a little less urgency, a little more clarity. You're no longer fully taken over. You're with the part instead of inside it. And that small shift creates options. You might respond differently, speak differently, slow down, choose, and be a little kinder to yourself. That's what self-energy does, not by force, just by presence. So try this over the next week. Before opening your inbox, before a meeting, after a hard conversation, in the car, before bed, just pause and ask. And first ground yourself in the reality of that pause, that I'm here. And then ask, who's here? Over time, this becomes less of a technique and more of a way of being, a way of meeting yourself with presence instead of pressure, a way of remembering that you're not one thing, you're many, and all of those parts. That wraps up another episode of IFS Meditations and Insights. If today's episode was meaningful to you, please follow, subscribe, and share with someone who might need it. A positive review helps more people find this healing work, so I'd love it if you'd leave a review. And don't forget, you can get your free IFS meditations at exploreifs.com. And until our next session, be gentle with yourself. I'll try to do the same, because we're beloved human beings.